In the land of stupid, powerful pickup trucks that cost an arm and a leg, the 2024 Shelby F150 is actually kind of tame. That may sound shocking, but we'll prove it in a moment. More importantly is the fact that Shelby has gone hog wild as usual, with making sure you know who built this truck. That too we will touch on momentarily. But first, would you kindly click the subscribe button below? Everyone here at the Empty Garage thanks you. So, can you guess how many Shelby emblems there are on this killer new 2024 F150? If you include the hissing cobras and Shelby block letters, we count 16. Now, I would argue the main reason for buying one of these trucks is for the cobra badge alone. It's just so darn cool. But wow, subtle? This truck is not. Then again, this isn't a segment exactly known for subtlety. But it is a segment, that being big pickups with staggering levels of power, that is bursting with options. Remember the Raptor R with 720 horsepower? Or the Ram TRX with 702? Those are nice. But these days, everyone is in on the action. Since Chevy hasn't seen fit to build their factory desert racer, shock absorber manufacturer Fox has done it for them. They recently unveiled a Silverado 1500 in the 700 horsepower club with 37-inch rubber and ultra fancy suspension tech, obviously. The front end lighting looks like something out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and they're only building 500 units. Each one runs around $210,000. Or how about Hennessy and their bonkers Velociraptor 1000? It has the requisite bulging bodywork these trucks are known for, but adds more than 1,000 horsepower and over 800 pound-feet of torque, all for just $235,000. Not enough for you? Check out the 6-wheeled version. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. And no, it does not come with an American flag mounted in the bed. That's extra. So remember me saying the 2024 Shelby F150 is kind of tame? Well, considering it only has 785 horsepower and only costs $140,000, it is relatively tame. But that's not really fair, because the new Shelby is in fact an absolutely epic pickup truck that looks like a regular parade of value compared to its overly outrageous competition. First up is the power rating on the Shelby. 785 horsepower is a lot, period. The 2024 F150 Lariat with 4-wheel drive and Super Crew setup that it's based on weighs a heady 5,000 pounds before adding on all the Shelby bits. We don't know how fast this new truck is, but Shelby claims a 3.45 second run to 60 for its previous F150 Super Snake, and that slowpoke only made 775 horsepower. So you can bet this new one will be faster than anything this big has a right to be. Oh, and in case you can't remember how potent this truck is, Shelby helpfully notes the horsepower rating right along the bottom of the rear doors. Interestingly, there is no mention of upgraded brakes on the 2024 Shelby F150. Between the huge power and mammoth 22-inch rims mounted in all-terrain rubber, that should lead to some exciting high-speed antics. Yeehaw! To hit that 785 horse figure, Shelby straps a 5th-gen Whipple supercharger onto Ford's classic Coyote 5-liter V8, a motor that makes 400 horsepower in stock form. The supercharger, which is finished in a snappy coat of Ford Racing Blue, sucks air through a fat carbon fiber intake with a high flow filter. Why carbon fiber? Because it looks cool, bro. Other notable powertrain upgrades include a performance-tuned aluminum heat exchanger and beefed up fuel injectors. Surely Shelby has done a bit more than just strap on these components, but they're not sharing those details yet. Now, as any self-respecting shade tree car modifier knows, adding a catback exhaust to your Honda Accord adds at least 15 horsepower. So the Borla catback system on this new Shelby may not be responsible for the entire 385 horsepower gain over stock, but it sure sounds good. Dual black finish tips look pretty darn good too. Be aware that these output figures are based on filling your F-150 with 93 octane. Fuel economy is sure to suck, so good thing there's a 36-gallon gas tank. I shudder to imagine what this thing will cost to fill up. But who cares? It's fast and loud, as long as you don't live in a green state, that is. What is a green state? Nobody knows. But in the fine print, Shelby notes the supercharger would have to be installed after purchase if you live in a so-called green state. Vermont has the Green Mountains and probably falls into this green state category, so just live in Texas, like Carol would encourage, and you'll be fine. Because although you can buy the 2024 Shelby F150 without the blue Whipple beauty, that would be lame, and it would only save you 10 grand. That's right. For $130,000, you can buy yourself a new F150 Lariat with a not-so-subtle Shelby cosmetic package and a sweet lift kit. By the way, the new Lariat costs about half that in stock form at $68,000. So is the Shelby worth it? Well, aside from the supercharger-related performance upgrades, which are definitely worthwhile, what else does a buyer get in this truck? A lot, it seems. The cosmetics are abundant. The bodywork adds menace to the F-150 courtesy of an all-new bulging front end, burly fender flares, and a color-matched bed cover with a wee ducktail-style spoiler. As mentioned, there are Shelby emblems just about everywhere. But how about those racing stripes? They come in a variety of satin colors. You could, for example, go the classic Shelby route of Oxford white paint with blue stripes. Or perhaps you prefer something a bit gaudier. May we recommend a rapid red finish to go with those blue lines instead? Hey now! While we're outside, it's important to touch on the wheel, tire, and suspension package, because there is a lot going on here that helps justify the price tag. First up are the gloss black 22-inch rims. They're wrapped in 35-inch BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain rubber. Is it an off-roader? Is it a bitchin' street truck? Yes! A 3-inch lift from BDS jacks the Shelby F150 up to make room for all that rubber and the Trick Fox suspension system. The 2.5-inch Race Series internal bypass dampers have adjustable dual speed control for when you need to switch between Desert Racer and bitchin' street truck. Plus, they're zinc coated for sweet looks and added durability. Performance rear traction bars further serve to keep all this power and mass planted, though we have no doubt a firm shove of the gas pedal can fix that. A gas pedal trimmed in billet aluminum, of course. It's part of the Shelby cabin vibe on these new F-150s. The stock leather upholstery is swapped for Shelby seat covers. They feature the signature snakeskin pattern with red stitching and Shelby embroidery. As this is a Lariat, those seats are also heated and ventilated. Other touches include carbon fiber trim pieces scattered about, embroidered floor mats, and a serialized plaque on the center console lid. A matching piece can be found in the engine bay. As this is a 2024 F-150 Lariat, it also benefits from a range of upgrades as part of Ford's refresh. That includes a head-up display, a heated and leather-wrapped steering wheel, a panoramic moonroof, and a huge 12-inch central touchscreen. There's also the 8-speaker B&O audio system, Blue Cruise hands-free driving tech, and power operation of the rear window and steering column. Shelby has a long history of modifying Fords and has created legitimate brand cachet as a result. Not to mention a bewildering number of vehicles in the process. There is the F-150 Super Snake, which looks dope in regular cab configuration and goes like stink on paved surfaces. There's also the Shelby Raptor that is just like it sounds. But this simply named 2024 Shelby F-150 appears to split the difference between those two. As Gary Patterson, president of Shelby American, notes, this new truck can, quote, tow your boat to the lake or enjoy some off-road fun, as well as get cleaned up for a fancy night in the city. So quit whining about the fact that this 2024 Shelby F-150 costs $27,000 more than a Raptor R, but only makes 65 more horsepower. That's not the point. Shelby builds these trucks because they're flat out fun, American style, and probably to make their founder proud were he still around. We certainly think Carol would approve of this latest Shelby creation. Now, Mr. Patterson, could you kindly send me one finished in Oxford white with the satin white racing stripes? Because damn, that's a good looking truck and I would really like to drive it.